2, 2 is kind of a standalone in this chapter. 2, 2. This chapter is all about lines and functions and everything, and these actually make lines, but we do them in a kind of different way. We're going to talk about direct variation, but we focus more on proportions. Variation, proportions. So right now, we're only going to do direct variation today. Later on, when we do this lesson again, we actually do inverse variation, okay? So basically what a direct variation is, this is proportionate. If I'm going to make cookies for you guys, and then I say, well, I better make it for, period 3 too, I guess, So I would have to up the ingredients in my cookies. If I up the butter, I got to up the sugar, right? I have to make it proportionate. So as one thing goes up, the other thing goes up. So like, time spent studying on your test, the grade in the class, right? It goes up both ways. You think about someone who's proportionate. They don't have a really big butt, they're like regular size. They're proportionate. And I just recorded that. Okay, but that's what proportions work. If you're going to gain weight, you're going to gain it up top and the bottom. You stay proportional. Okay, anyways. So proportions, you set them up as fractions equal to each other. So we're going to set them up like this. y1 over x1 will equal y2 over x2. Just like that. Okay, so the proportion. So the proportion of the butter to the sugar has to equal, if I'm going to up it, the butter to the sugar. And it's funny because my 6th grade son, he was just doing proportions in his class, and they were really hard. I was like, wow, you're in 6th grade. This is pretty good. I do this. He did it a different way. But I did it with my students too. Okay, so here we go. Let's do some. I've got 3 examples only today. Very, very quick. All right, it says here that y varies directly with x. They have to tell you that. It's just going to be true for all of them today. They all vary directly. They don't vary inversely or jointly or anything like that. So it says that y is equal to 9 when x is negative 15. And they want us to find out what is y when x is 21. Okay? Y varies directly with x. We're given this information. We're given 2 pieces that go together, and then we're given one that's missing its other part. Okay? And what you want to do is you want to do 2 things. And I'm going to look for this in your homework. You want to A, set up a proportion, and then B, you want to solve it. Okay? So we're going to set up a proportion. All of our proportions are going to be y over x. So we have 9 is to negative 15 as y is to 21. And do you see how y is up top both times and x is on the bottom both times? That's exactly right. If I had those both switched, that would be okay too. Okay? So 9 is to negative 15 as y is to 21. And then you go ahead and you solve this. Do you know how to solve it? Yeah, you cross multiply. Perfect. You cross multiply. 9 times 21 equals negative 15 times y. They're going to be larger. You might want to get your calculator out. So 9 times 21, and then we'll divide by negative 15. So y will equal negative 12.6. Okay? And I know a lot of you guys can do some of this in your head. What I do want to see is I want to see your proportion that's set up, and then you can solve it however you want. All right, let's try one now that's missing. Instead of where they're going to ask you what y is, they're going to ask you what x is. Same problem, same idea though. All right, and we still have a direct variation. So it says that this time y is 4 when x is 2.5. What is x when y is 10? Okay, so y equals 4 when x is 2.5. This time, what is x when y is 10? So we're going to still set up our proportions and make sure if you start with y up top, x on the bottom, make sure you do y on the other one, x on the bottom. So we can go 4 is to 2.5, so y over x equals y, which is 10 over x this time. Okay? A little bit different. And then go ahead and cross multiply and solve. So we'll get 4x equals 2.5 times 10 is 25. Divide by 4, x is, what is it, 6.25? 6.25. Okay. Aren't these nice and easy? Yeah, I know. Feels like we kind of are taking a little breath today. And then tomorrow we'll review. Okay, last one. Now we'll do a word problem. But it's going to be the same idea. So it says here that the number of calories varies directly with the weight of cheese. Do you like cheese?
Yeah.
Do you? Some people really like cheese. I'm kind of an okay. I like cheese. It's okay. Goldfish are that's not cheese. Well, yeah, I'm talking like an actual cheese. Like you go and you buy a block of cheddar and you chunk it off and you eat it.
Oh, you ever had real cheese?
Yes,
Cheese.
it's very
Fake cheese?
like I can't even smell it, right?
Wait, is it fake cheese?
Well, I'm sure it's made out of cheese, some sort of cheese, but it's not what I was thinking of for cheese. So I think of cheese as like I go and I grate it and I put it on my tacos at night. Yeah. Like cheese, you know, or like string cheese, blue cheese.
Have you had string cheese with what? Churro?
No, I haven't. No. Okay.
It's good.
No, I was just thinking cheese, like a big old wheel of cheese. Okay, anyways. So, if 50 grams of cheese, not sure how much that is, contains 200 calories. That's not that much. Contains 200 calories. Okay, the question is, how many calories are in 70 grams? Okay, how many calories are in 70 grams? Now, just remember, these are proportionate, okay? The more calories that there's going to be, the more the cheese is going to weigh, and vice versa. The more weight of the cheese, the more calories it's going to have. And so we can set up a proportion. Now, it doesn't matter which one you put on top and which one's on the bottom. It really doesn't. So if you wanted to start with 50 grams, so 50 grams is to 200 calories, as 70 grams is to, and I'll just label it X, whatever variable you want to use, okay? But just make sure that your grams are up top, calories on the bottom, or vice versa. Calories up top, grams on the bottom. All right, and then you just cross multiply. So 200 times 70 equals 50 times X. You get your calculator out and divide by 50. So X ends up being, and don't forget, if the problem has words in it, your answer will too, 280 calories. There you go. So proportions, okay?